It's been 27 years since BMW started production of the X5. And in today's video, we've got the very first generation, the E53, parked next to the brand new 2027 model year here, where both of these X5s were manufactured in Spartanburg, South Carolina. That's right. From the very beginning of the X5, it's always been built right here in the USA. And in today's video, we're going to compare the first generation to the newest and talk about how the X5 has changed. Now, this is not just any first generation X5. This is a pristine example that's brand new because it's never been sold. It's belonged to BMW from brand new, and this is a really special one. This is an 03 4.6 IS. This is the precursor to the now legendary X5M. It's got massive 20-inch wheels that are something like 10 inches wide in the back. It's got, for then, a very powerful 340 horsepower V8 and a 5-speed automatic transmission. And it's got the body kit, it's got the running boards, it's got the look. And this X5, I think, hot take, I think this is the best looking generation they've ever done. I mean, it was kind of designed after the iconic E46 3 Series, and it's aged beautifully. It's actually smaller than the brand new X3. Now the new X5, oh boy, has a lot changed. There are some similarities. The kidney grille still remains. The somewhat narrow headlights still remain. It's red, but apart from that, not a lot to connect these two generations. The new X5 has gone super sleek for aerodynamics. We are living in an era where every ounce of fuel economy they can eke out of these cars means more sales. The new X5 has electric doors that open up automatically and soft close as standard, which is very cool. The new X5 can be had in inline 6, hybrid, plug-in hybrid, and hydrogen power. So the powertrains have changed a lot. The old X5 was available with either 3-liter inline 6 power, 4.4 V8, or the IS 4.6. And that's a very special engine. But you gotta check out the inside of this X5 because it is simply stunning, is the only way to describe it. When's the last time you saw a car with something like 1,000 original miles on it of this era? The perfect blood red leather interior. These seats still hug you beautifully like they're brand new because they're brand new. The steering wheel, a wonderfully elegant 3-spoke design with controls on either side and those awesome gray gauges in this IS. Believe it or not, even 23 years ago, they did have touchscreen infotainment, or I should say button infotainment, but your radio, your navigation was all done via the screen, climate control, buttons down here. I mean, compared to the new one, we've got more buttons than a 747 and a small sunroof. This car is beautiful. I mean, it's simply a time capsule, and that's because it belongs to the BMW collection here in South Carolina. It has never been sold, and it will never be sold. And my favorite part is actually the trunk. First of all, I remember as a kid, if you saw this rear diffuser and you saw those dual exhausts, that meant that someone's mom was rocking the hottest SUV on the block. This thing was so cool when I was 7 years old, and it is still cool today. It's got the split tailgate. Top opens, bottom drops down. Great place to hang out, tie your shoes, do your thing under the cover of this tailgate. I mean, it is beautifully analog, and it's held up really, really well. The new X5, you want to hop in on the driver's side there, Zach? Well, we've got some changes. First of all, we have working AC. So Zach, if you want to come in, it's over 100 degrees out there in South Carolina and like 100% humidity, so you might want to take a little load off. It's gone very tech heavy. 17.9-inch screen in this X5. A passenger display. This crazy like hologram across the windshield. I mean, look at all of the crazy tech that we're seeing in this car, but BMW will tell you that's what modern customers are wanting. They want the latest and greatest in tech. They want big screens, and I don't know if they want air vents in the center console, but that's what you've gotten. And I gotta say, like, as controversial as this interior is, the materials are very, very nice. Like the suede they put along the door, the suede they've put along the dash, it actually feels really premium. The seats are more comfortable than the old one. They really hug you. You kind of sit in them, you sink down. You got the big pano sunroof in this thing. This is a luxurious experience. It really is, and it feels a lot more enormous than the old one. One thing I really don't like is the visibility. The old one had these wonderfully tall windows with a low belt line. The new one is definitely a little bit harder to see out of, but wow, what a change. And it's also gotten a lot faster. 340 horsepower back in 03 was a lot. But the new electric one makes 570 horsepower, 593 pound-feet of torque. Even the base model 40 makes 50 plus more horsepower than the old one does. So crazy how much things have changed in the new generation of BMWs here. But it's a nice interior. They actually have put slate in here. This is real slate that they've put along the center console here. So lots of big changes inside this X5. And I gotta say, I like what I'm seeing, except for the back, because this is the first generation. The 5th generation is the first to do away with the split tailgate. No, what a bummer. So no more split tailgate, but I think the design's controversial. I'm sure I'll hear about it in the comment section below, but it's cool that they still build it here in South Carolina using American jobs. They've still more or less stuck to the formula of big, comfortable, useful, practical, but hopefully fun to drive. But let's get that old one out on the road. We can't drive the new one yet. It literally came out yesterday. They're still not letting me take it for a ride, but we'll take the old one for a ride and see what a time capsule feels like. So hopping in this beautiful, historic X5, there is one thing that doesn't work in this car, and that is the air conditioning system, which is a little bit of a bummer in July in South Carolina, but we're gonna look past it, because when else do you get to drive a literal museum piece? I cannot believe I'm behind the wheel of this car. You know, I've got a real attachment to this because back in the day, my dad had this car, my mom, I should say, had this car brand new. It was a 3-liter in this pretty dreary looking gold, and it was an inline 6. But that's kind of what made me fall in love with cars, but also BMW as a kid, was this first generation X5. And now I'm behind the wheel of the Holy Grail. We got to go full throttle. Whoa, okay. Wow, 80 kilometers an hour. So this is a European spec car, but you know what? When you get into it, here, I'll give it one more squirt. You know what? It actually hauls, maybe not ass, but certainly butts. This is, of course, a much lighter, smaller car than the generations that came after it. But what really gets me is how nice this car is to drive. It's very firm, okay? If you're looking for a floaty couch-like driving experience, this X5 is not it. You know, maybe if you got a basic 3-liter, that car would kind of float down the road. This has got the sport suspension, it's got the big engine, it's got 315 width tires in the back. It's like a freaking Viper back there. So it's got a lot of rubber on it, but the steering is excellent. It really does just communicate exactly what the car is doing as you go down the road. The 5-speed automatic transmission, incredibly smooth. The brakes feel good, and this is the right size. I mean, this is about, like I said, a little smaller than the current X3. And I think that it is the right size. Like, it feels manageable and easy to park, yet there's plenty of rear seat legroom back there. And I do truly believe that these cars are going to become collectible, because as everything becomes SUVs, right, people want the best of the SUVs. And if you want an SUV that was fun to drive, you bought a Cayenne or you bought an X5. And I actually kind of like the X5 more. It feels very dramatic. Like, all the controls are very, very, very weighty, but surprisingly communicative. I am stoked that I get to have the opportunity to try this car out on the road, and it feels great. Like, it's exactly what I was hoping it would feel like as a 6-year-old sitting in the back seat. Let's take a U-turn here. I don't want to put too many miles on this car, because like I keep saying, it is an actual museum piece that belongs to the BMW collection. So we're going to whip around here on this private road and make our way back. And we'll give it one more squirt. Unleash the beast under the hood. I mean, truly, this is the genesis of the now famous and unbelievably insane twin-turbo V8 X5M that we've known to love, with like 600 horsepower. Oh, but it's got that naturally aspirated character. It revs out through the gears, and there is 60 miles an hour there. Oh, guys, this car is so good. It really is fantastic. Now, what does the new one drive like? Fact of the matter is, We don't know. Nobody knows, right? Because it still is being released. Hopefully BMW invites us to the press drive of that. I would love that opportunity to get behind the wheel of the new one. But I hope it has the character of the old one, because kind of this sense of solidity is what made this car drive so special, right? And BMW's done a good job of keeping that throughout the generations. I hope the new one is still comfortable and soft, but also gives you that sense of confidence that you can take turns in a mountain pass and keep up with your friends in a typical sedan, because that's what this car is all about. Guys, I'd love to know what you guys think in the comment section below. I'm sure you'll tell me anyways, but a huge thank you to Zach behind the camera. 39 degrees Celsius, which is about 145 degrees Fahrenheit. It's a joke, I know, don't come at me. But we'll see you guys in the next one.